Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 147. And in this one, we are going to be talking about our Bolton Wanderers game, of course. And then we'll obviously talk a bit about transfer news. Obviously, a few bits have come out today. So we'll obviously discuss that as well towards the end. But yeah, like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. Not too bad, mate. Thanks. Hope everyone's cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Big up. I know quite a few people are waiting beforehand as well and have liked it. So big up to yourselves. Luca being one of them. He says, I'm here. Big up yourself, mate. And big up to Lewis as well. He says, Evening T, how are you? Hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm all good, mate. Hope you're all good as well, mate. But yeah, let's get into it. So obviously went to it, Dad. You know what I mean? I said obviously second game at home this season. Obviously the last one was Gillingham. Obviously, as for you, it was your first home game, like we said, since the West Ham one. You know, obviously at home, like I say. And, you know, it's one of them where, you know, obviously you predicted a narrow win. Obviously, I predicted a draw. Obviously, it did turn out to be a draw, not in the way I thought. You know, I did maybe say, imagine we're saying all this and it was a 0-0, and then it actually was. But, you know, it was a disappointing game. You know, it was a disappointing game, like I put in the title. Couldn't hit a barn door. You know, it's not good enough. You know, you look at that lineup, right? Obviously, we were waiting for it at 2 o'clock, you know what I mean, getting the bus there. And, you know, we were very surprised with how strong it was initially. But then the more we thought about it, it sort of made sense because, you know, you want to keep that momentum going because there was going to be a gap anyway, you know, in between it, you know, that game and the Burnley game. But obviously now, due to it being a draw, obviously that's changed. So it made sense, but still, like I say, I was a bit surprised. We both thought, you know, looking at that, that's what we predominantly play in the Premier League, you know, bar Tim Krul, really. So, you know, other than that, and even then, he's a really good, you know, second keeper we have at the club. So it should be more than capable of winning the game. You know, yes, they're high flying, but they're in League One. Do you know what I mean? We're in the Premier League. You know, we're putting up better performances in against better opposition. So it was disappointing, but obviously Tim Krul in goal, back three of Menji, Osho, Bell. Again, that's the only thing, man, that is, you know, a bit annoying at this current moment in time. You know, I don't know why we keep persisting with Bell in left centre back. He is not good enough there. No disrespect, you know, I like the guy. He is not good enough there. He is better as a left wing back. Even then, I would have rested him, you know, in this game. But like I said, it does make sense, you know, to go strong, keep that momentum sort of as well at the same time. Like I say, there was going to be a gap. Chio on the right, Lukonga, Barkley, Doughty, and then Chong, Morris, and Elijah. So it seemed like it's a bit of a change in formation as well, you know, with a cam and then two strikers. Obviously, we haven't seen two strikers for a while, you know, especially Morris and Elijah together. So it was an interesting one. As for the bench, obviously it's Anderson, Berry, Clark, Giles, Kabore, Kaminsky, Ruddock, Townsend, Woodrow. Yeah, I'm not sure why Kabore didn't play. Obviously, you know, I don't rate him that highly, but still, you know, obviously he was given the green light by his national team to, you know, play in this game and then go out. So I don't know. He didn't even come on. You know, for me, you know, it'd been good to see how he actually, you know, is. It'd been my first time in person, you know, so I'd been able to obviously, you know, look at his positioning and that sort of thing a little bit more, you know, see if I'm being a bit too harsh, maybe. But no, it didn't even come on, which was weird. But more than capable. You know, it should have been more than capable to beat him, shouldn't it, Dad, with that lineup?
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple of changes, obviously not starting, you know, three maybe that wouldn't have started, but yeah, when I saw it, I thought, well, we should, you know, the performance we've been putting in at home, we should, you know, be dealing with them basically. And it just didn't turn out. And yeah, but we want, you know, I'm surprised that we didn't give other lads opportunities. Do you know what I mean? Clark, obviously, come on. Woodrow to start for me. Anderson to start for me. Kabore should start for me. Ruddock again. I was just surprised. I think it backfired a little bit. I think what kind of happened overall is like because they've been playing high intensity and having to compete with these Premier League clubs and that. It was like they didn't know what to do. It was a bit bizarre, really, especially in the first half. I'm not going to lie, you couldn't tell which team was a League One team, mate. Do you know what I mean? And that's not good enough. And then it was making me think, like, if we did get relegated, like that happened in the Championship. Do you know what I mean? Like, can't. I think that's got to be a little bit of a lesson learned. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we dominated them in the second half and that, but it just weren't good enough for that lineup. And for me, the replay, I'd be giving them other lads who didn't get that opportunity again. Simple as that.
Same here, 100%.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would as well. You know, like I said, we thought they really should have been getting. You know, even I get it. Like I say, I think about it because we weren't going to play for, you know, obviously till the Monday. But at the same time, you know, there were certain players there that I felt should have played anyway. You know, like Kabore. You know, especially if given the green light, it's sort of pointless. You know, it's sort of pointless now. You know, and that sort of thing. So yeah, and it'd been good to give the likes of Woodrow, Giles as well. You know, for me, Anderson get his minutes under his belt, like you say. So yeah, it was a bit interesting that certain players didn't play, especially you know in a game like that. You know, our main priority is obviously the Premier League to stay up. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. But let's go through some comments. Big up to Spencer, Haiti, Duzzy, Luca, Lewis, and everyone else. Big up yourself, mate. Lewis also says, "Hope you're well, Dad." Jackie says, "Hi, Ty, Dad. Strong team, but didn't play strong. Really disappointing." Yeah, exactly. That's why you know we're so frustrated with that because you know you look at that lineup and it's more. It should be more than capable. You know, of beating them. You know, yes, they're high flying, but we're in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? That is a lineup we'd have in the Premier League, and we've done much better against better opposition. You know, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, as we all know. So it was very disappointing. And even then, you know, I'll be honest, I thought Dion Charles was going to be a threat for them. He didn't really do nothing, you know, to be honest. So, you know, there's more their wide players that are better players for me, you know, when they were having them chances, you know, trying to cross the ball in and etc. 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 Yeah, again, not necessarily starting him for me, but I'm surprised he weren't on the bench, if I'm being honest. Obviously, out of the youngsters, he's the one that's been in and around the first team the most. Talk about youngsters. Francis Clark has returned. I'll see that today. But again, he'll probably get loaned out somewhere else. But yeah,
So Dion Pierre has returned as well.
yeah, I was gonna get into that a bit later on. Big up to Chris. Says big up lads. Hope you're well. Big up to yourself, mate. Away the lads. Big up yourself. Big up to both of you. Big up to yourself. Yeah, no, I agree. Chris. That's exactly how we see it. You know, looking at that lineup, watching highlights, it's strong team, not strong performance. On paper, should be beating Bolton. Yeah, with that lineup, I'll say, mate, it's a Premier League lineup. You know, because yeah, Tim Krul's the second choice, but still, he's a really good keeper. You know, to have as a second choice, and then other than that, pretty much everyone else starts. You know, maybe bar Chong, but again, he comes on in a lot of games. So yeah, I guess you got the massive 6-pointer against Burnley. Well, yeah, you know, maybe our spirits will change because they are a little bit down at the moment. Maybe they will change if we get well, they will change. Not maybe they will change if we beat Burnley because you know, obviously, like I say, it's a 6-pointer. So yeah, but let's get into the first half. Obviously, the first talking point I would say was the Barkley shot, the one that was, you know, it's poor. You know, I thought he was okay in this game when it comes to, you know, holding up the ball, you know, looking for them options and that sort of thing. But his shooting, you know, for his standard, was not good enough in this game. You know, like I say, he had a shot that was low. Keeper is always going to get that. And then he had another shot that was in the air, but again, you know, it's straight down the middle. You know, compared to the shots we've seen him have this season, you know, look at the Newcastle game, you know, after we got the goal, you know, I want to see a bit of them type of shots, but, you know, it goes in. Do you know what I mean? Because we know he's more than capable of doing it. You know, we've said he is going to score a banger, you know, but yeah, the shots just weren't great from him. And then Bolton's first big chance, I would say, was the one where I don't know how we didn't clear it. You know, Menji was with a slide tackle but didn't quite get it. And then it was just, it's just very scrappy. They had a shot, and obviously it weren't too far away. And then obviously the next talking point, for me in this game, there were three chances that we were very unlucky with. You know, we had, I think, what did I say? We had like 18 shots or something like that. Lukonga's shot was one of them that I thought was unlucky. I thought he played really well in the first half. In my opinion, he was the best player. You know, you could flick between him and Osho, I'd say. But I just thought he was brilliant. You know, the way he was, you know, winning the ball, you know, getting stuck in, you know, playing passes. Like I say, the shot was very unlucky. Outside of the boot as well. You know, obviously we thought it was in, you know, but it was unlucky. And then, you know, that was really it for the first half, you know, when it comes to big chances. But overall, it wasn't great. You know, like I say, I think the only positive really was Lukonga and, you know, Osho's performance, but it just weren't great. You know, it just really wasn't great. Like I say, the chances other than the Lukonga one, not good enough. But what did you make of the first half, Dave?
We just didn't get going. Simple as that. You know, like we looked quite comfortable generally when we was on the ball. Morris gave it away far too much for me. His hold on play was pretty poor that first half. We just didn't really get going. Barkley, I think most of his couple of shots, I think they were just more out of frustration than anything else, to be honest. But they didn't offer that much either, if that makes sense. They were trying to work us out, whatever. And, it's just frustrating, dull. Simple as that.
Yeah, that is awful. You know, I was fuming. I'll be honest, I was fuming because, like I say, with the lineup, should be doing better. Should be doing better, you know. And other than the Lukonga chance, not good enough. Not good enough. But going into the second half, I'd say the first chance in that game, like fairly big chance, was the Elijah header that was over the bar. Very scrappy in the box. You know, we should have scored before that. You know, obviously put it over the bar. And obviously it was his birthday the other day. So obviously shout out to Elijah. Unfortunately, he didn't quite get a birthday goal or assist or anything like that, or even a dub. Do you know what I mean? So it weren't great in that aspect. But yeah, obviously after that was another chance I thought we was unlucky with. Like I say, there was three chances I felt we were unlucky with, and this was the one where Chong played it to Chio. Chio with a great ball in to Morris, and to be honest, that was a good save from their keeper. You know, I'm going to be honest, that was a good save. Morris was unlucky there. I thought in this game, I might have said it on the vlog, but I said, you know, I thought being that aerial presence that we mentioned, you know, when we were talking about dropping him, you know, what we know he's good at, he wasn't doing that in previous games, you know, which is why I felt we needed to drop him. But he was doing that a bit in this game. It was just his hold-up play was not good enough. You know, he kept giving it away, like you said, that a few times. But I thought in the air, you know, being that presence, he was a lot better. But obviously he had that chance, I'd say, good save. And then obviously Doughty had a shot again. You know, I thought that was in. You know, obviously that went out for a corner, and there was a stage in the second half where we were just having corners upon corners. You know, and it was annoying because you know I think I said it every single time we had one. You know, let's capitalise on this. This is one of our strongest points. You know, let's capitalise on it. Get a goal from it. You know, we've done it against far better opposition, like I say, Man City, Arsenal, you know, so it was just frustrating, really. You know, and then Clark come on. I thought he was immense. I actually thought he was really good when he come on. There was one little thing that he done. And I was a bit like, "What are you doing?" But it did work out in the end when he played it across towards our side. I was like, "What is he doing?" But it did work out. You know, he had a shot, and it was very unlucky. Again, I thought that was in. You know, obviously it didn't quite go in, but from the angle we was, it looked in originally. And then the last talking point is obviously when Doughty hit the post. And we should have had a penalty, but again, I'm not really going to clutch at straws in that sense because we should have, you know, we should have put the game to bed really before that, you know, with the chances we had, to be honest. And even the lineup, like I say, we should be, you know, winning that game. You know, you just got to be honest now. So it was definitely a penalty. You know, I even thought it the first time I see it, and obviously it's the other side to us. It just looked like it. You know, it looked like he got taken out, and he did. But again, like I say, I'm not going to clutch at straws because that lineup should be good enough to beat him really. because like I say, that's what we'd play in the Premier League, bar Cruel. So yeah, obviously hit the post originally as well. Before that, that was unlucky. So there were the three chances that were unlucky for me: the Lukonga one, the Morris header, and the obviously the Doughty one off the post. But yeah, it was better in the second half, but we just couldn't hit a barn door, like I say, and that was the disappointing thing. You know, we were a lot more, in control. You know, like you say, Dad. In the first half, we were sort of, we just weren't really doing much. With that sort of, level of team, but we was more in it. You know, we was, quite dominant, but it was just the couldn't hit a barn door. Seriously. But what did you make of that second half, Dad?
Yeah, obviously we was improved. Um, and we should have made one of them chances count in the day. Yeah, it's a couple of good. Their keeper weren't too. Their defence played pretty well, obviously as well. We at least we were dominant, if that makes sense. You know, it proves that we have got better squad and stuff. But we was a bit. I guess we was a bit unlucky with that Doughty shot. Penalty, I think it probably was, but I mean, I've seen it get. It looks more clumsy. I think what it is SA. It probably so ain't clear and obvious. You know, and there's plenty that just because it goes to VAR, I don't mean you're going to get it. Do you know what I mean? So, I wouldn't be surprised if you missed the penalty anyway.
Yeah, to be honest,
the way it was going.
Yeah.
But yeah, better in the second half, and just all up camped in their half pretty much, but just couldn't make it count in the end. Substitutions were what you expect, I guess. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just frustrating.
Yeah, no, exactly that. But yeah, let's just get into the player ratings. So obviously, Crawl in goal didn't really have an awful lot to do. There was one moment where they had a corner and he sort of flapped at it, and I was like, what's going on there? But I even saw that in the Gillingham. I still rate him as a keeper. You know, I think to have him as a second choice is quite phenomenal, really. But with his experience as well, that side of things. But he did even against Gillingham, he had that sort of moment where he punched it instead of he could have caught it. So it's one of them. But other than that, he didn't really have much else to do. If I'm being honest, there's a few times obviously they had their moments, but he's just taking goal kicks and that sort of stuff, really, or got out to it when they've tried to through ball it, etc. So for me, he did get a clean sheet as well. I'm going to go with 6.5.
Yeah, I'll give him exactly the same. Didn't have much to do. She said flapped it because we were like right there, so you could see it. Was Bolton fans were taking it, but it didn't have much to do. His goal kicks and that were decent, obviously, as you'd expect anyway, and his awareness was all right, but he didn't have much to do. 6.5.
Yeah, exactly. Big up to Jamie. It was all right, mate. Yeah, I'm all good, mate. Hope you're well. But yeah, obviously, cool. There you go. Moving on we'll go over to Menji. I've seen better games of him. Like I said, the moment earlier in the game where their first big chance. I'm surprised that he didn't fully win it. Maybe it's a bit of an unlucky one, but then again, I still feel we should have cleared it. I still feel we should have cleared it. Like I said, I've seen better games than Menji, if I'm being honest. I'm going to go, again, I'm probably going to go another, no, I'm not, I'm going to go for 6.
Well, I'll give it a 6.5. Again, just average. Didn't do a hell of a lot. Didn't have a lot to do in certain ways as well. Because they're full. Yes, Dion Charles and that, who everyone was like worried about. I forgot he was on the pitch at times. You know what I mean? So we just done the basics right, really. 6.5.
Yeah. Moving on to Osho. Obviously, he's been given man of the match. He got man of the match at the stadium. Like I say, he is up there. Not quite mine, but I could understand if people put him in there. To be fair, obviously, I was saying the last few hat shows, I was a bit sceptical of him in the middle of the back three. Obviously, he was in this game, and that was definitely his best game. You know, for sure, the runs he was making forward, you know, to try and create chances, I thought he was, you know, unlucky. There was one moment where he did lose the ball, but again, he was looking, you know, he was looking for it. You know, looking for options, and he weren't having them. So there, I don't really blame him, if I'm being brutally honest. So yeah, like I say, he could be up there for man of match. Obviously, part of the clean sheet. So me, I'm gonna go with 7.5 for Osho.
I'm going to give him a 7.5 as well. He is my man of the match. Like, he was the only kind of player in the first, game. Obviously, Clark come on, and then for me was brilliant. But other than that, no one else was really just. Yeah, defensively he was good. He was comfortable with the ball, and he was trying to make things happen more. So yeah, it's my man of the match 7.5.
Yeah, there you go. Just put a note of that. That's the first time Osho's got it this season. And then moving on to obviously Bell. Again, like I say, I don't know why we keep persisting with him in centre back. You know, I really don't. He did have a few shaky moments. First half, I thought he was okay. You know, linking up with Doughty and going forward, but he still had his moments. I think there's a time where he maybe like fell over and then they went forward or something like that. I'm going with a 6.
Yeah, I'll go 6. Just looks shaky at times. I think he needs a rest as well. Like I said, I don't know.
And I thought it would have been this game. You know,
Anderson would have
especially
been in the middle, and Osho could have been on that side, or Menji. They both play on there. So is what it is. 6.
and then even left wing back could have put Giles. You know, give him a chance. He hasn't had a lot of chances, has he? So it's one of them. But yeah, moving on to we'll go over to Chio. Obviously, he was in right wing back this game. You know, I wouldn't be mad if we done it against Burnley. You know, I said that. I thought he was okay in this game. Obviously, it's not standout compared to what we have seen, but again, I still thought he was okay. You know, especially linking up with Chong. You know, at times trying to get the crosses into the box. You know, he was doing well on that side. You know, like I say, I wouldn't be mad at it. You know, if we'd done it against Burnley. So for me, I'm gonna say for Chio, I'm gonna go with 7 for Chio.
Yeah, I'll give him 7. Again, he weren't really tested defensively, and he probably will start against Burnley in that, because I think Kabore won't be definitely now.
Yeah.
But it was quite lively, particularly in the second half. Not as good as we have seen, but sometimes you need the other team to like gel a bit more and things like that. So yeah, I'll just give him 7.
Yeah. Then moving on to Doughty, obviously on the other side. Obviously, like I said, had that he had 2 big chances in this game. Obviously, the one hit the post, then should have been a penalty. And then obviously he had another chance as well. But yeah, I thought he was okay in this game. Again, it's not the best I've seen of him, but he was still decent. So again, I'm going to go with another 7.
Yeah, 7 for me. I think there was one corner as well where he just didn't get past. It was unusual for him, and he didn't get past the first man. And I don't know, just struggling a little bit. But he weren't getting a lot of service either at times. So, but yeah, 7.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then moving on to the midfield, Barkley, we'll start off with him. Like I say, his shots were not good enough, you know, for his standard. But I thought, you know, his hold up play, you know, and doing that, which he's done a lot, which he's been massive, you know, a very influential part of this midfield. I thought, you know, you see bits of that, just his shooting weren't good enough. So, yeah, for me, I'm gonna go with another 7 again.
Yeah, 7 for me. Job done. Dust the pastry off. You know what I mean? Go out here in Greg's or whatever. It's just continue. Like no one. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
I say his whole was good. He's trying to make things happen and that, but he needs it again. The whole team should have performed better. Like really. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like we say. Then moving on to Lokonga, I thought he was really good. He is my man of the match, and a lot of people probably wouldn't give him it only because he come off, it was one of the first substitutions, just over 20 minutes to go. But I just thought he was really good in that first half. Yeah, you'd probably, expect him to be, because, obviously it is against the League One side, he has played for Arsenal and that sort of thing. But I just thought, the way he's getting stuck in, winning the ball back, and that shot was very unlucky. I'm going to give it to him. Um, again, I was a bit skeptical when we signed him, just because I weren't convinced by him at Palace. I knew he'd do okay for us, but not as well as he's done, to be honest. So yeah, he's my man of the match. So based on that, I'm going to go over 8 with Lukonga.
I'll just give him a 7. I thought he's similar to Osho, really. Willing to get forward, trying to sort of kind of make things happen, like good on the ball and things like that. But obviously, then he was substituted. But yeah, I'll just give him a 7.
Yeah, fair enough. And then moving on to Chong. Not effective as we know he can be. Maybe it'd have been a good opportunity for him if he got a goal or assist, to potentially start against Burnley. Um, but obviously it didn't quite happen. I'll say he was still okay, he's still trying to make things happen, but we have seen better of him. And I do feel, and I've said it even, before, I'm going to say it again, like he should be more of an impact player for me anyway to come on at this moment in time. So yeah, for me, Chong, I'm gonna go over 7 again.
Give him a 6.5. I thought like he was he was trying to get forward and that, like you say. But there was times where he was just getting knocked off the ball a bit too easy and things like that. It's a bit frustrating. I think he tries too hard sometimes, 6.5.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he does sometimes. And then moving on to obviously the front two, we'll start off with Morris. Like we say, his hold-up play was not good enough. Like I say, for me personally, in this set pieces, he was that aerial presence, and we know he can be. Like I say, that header he had, he was very unlucky. That was a good save, but yeah, the hold-up play weren't good enough, and he definitely had to come off. For me, still not granted a, or should be starting. So for me, I'm going to say a 6.5 for Morris.
Yeah, 6.5. Like it went. He was better in the second half. Obviously, it was unlucky as well, the header. And was winning them headers, from the corners that we were doing in the Championship, but he's heading it back across goal and that. But in the first half, he's passed. He was just passing it to the wrong people or to them basically, and it's a bit scrappy. Weren't what we're used to seeing from him basically against better players as well, which probably makes it worse, doesn't it? So 6.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And moving on to Elijah, see last player out of the 11. I'll say it's his birthday. Didn't quite get a birthday win, birthday goal, birthday assist, anything like that. But I thought his hold-up play was decent. There's a few chances he, probably snatched that. You'd say, like I say, that header he had that was over. Maybe he could have, kept it down. But like I say, his hold-up play is really good. We know he's very good at that. The way he can bring a ball down is absolutely phenomenal. But you saw bits of that. But like I say, I think, when it comes to, again, another player that we know can be that aerial presence, I don't think he was good compared to what we have seen. So again, for me, I'm going to go with 6.5.
6.5. Yeah. It was maybe he could have gone higher, but because he was better than Morris. But yeah, like when we them corners and that, he was on for the whole game, like in the second half, and I don't even can't remember him getting on the end of much. And he didn't really have the service in the first half either, to be fair to him. But 6.5.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot of him in first half games where he's not really getting service. You're like, what's going on here? But yeah, obviously the substitutions. We only made 3 in this game. Well, we should have made more, to be honest. But Clark and Townsend were obviously the first ones to come on. Like I say, I thought Clark was phenomenal when he come on, really. Like I say, there's that one pass I was a bit wary of, but it did work out, to be fair. And like I say, he had that shot. He was unlucky. He was getting stuck in. He's coming deep, helping being them options. And a lot of people would have started him in midfield, a bit more behind a Cam and the strikers. And I know you was one of them as well, Dad. And to be fair, he's, again, it's one where I would start him against Bolton next week because, to get his minutes under his belt, and also, like I say, how good he looked when he come on. So for me, Clark, I'm gonna go with a 7 for Clark.
Yeah, I'll go for 7. I've got him even higher because he, in the second half, I'd probably say he was the best player when he come on. His passing was good. It was like he had no fear, like because he hasn't really played this much this season in the Premier League. It was like a normal game to him, if that makes sense. Like against lower opposition, he showed his quality. He was patient on the ball. He was passing it well, good in midfield. Do you know what I mean? He was really confident. He had a couple of shots and that as well. I wanted to see him start. I want to see him start, the next game against them, or come on against Burnley or whatever. Because I think he deserves it. To be honest with you, let's be honest, he does deserve it. Scored goal at Wembley as well. Come on, man. So yeah, I 7.
Yeah, he was very good, for sure. And then moving on to Townsend, like I say, come on at the same time. I thought he was okay. Again, I've seen better of him, but I thought he was okay on the right, linking up with Chio. Because obviously Chong come off, he didn't really see that as much. I thought he was okay. He was trying to get on the ball and go forward. Especially on that right hand side, which again we did manage to get a lot of crosses in, but just couldn't hit a barn door. But I thought he was okay. Again, like I said, I've seen better of him. So I'll go with 6.5 for Townsend.
I thought it was all right. Hold up play was decent. They couldn't really get the ball off him. There was one moment where it looked like there was, and it's just sort of the way he controlled it was right in front of us, wasn't it? And it was pretty good. And then he was just doing what he could do for whatever he come on, So I'm going to give him 7.
Yeah, fair enough. Then moving on to the last one, Woodrow obviously come on with just under, just under 15 minutes. Again, I feel we should have started this game. For me, starting against Bolton next week. I don't know if I can really give too much. I think I might just go over standard 6, to be honest. Can't really think of too much.
Yeah, same. I can't really remember him being involved in a hell of a lot. And sometimes if you want to come on and stake claims and stuff, you've got to come on and just take the ball on, score, bang or whatever. But that could go to other players as well. So yeah, just give him a standard 6.
Yeah. So there you go. They are the player ratings. So obviously, as it stands now, obviously you give man of the match to Osho. First vote for Osho so far, surprisingly, for me this season. And obviously I give it to Lukonga. So as it stands, Dad, Kaminsky's on 1, Barkley's on 3, Doughty's on 2, Lukonga's also on 3 now, so he's level with Barkley, and then Chong and Osho are also on 1.
Yeah, but don't forget people like this. We've only just started listing them from a few games ago, so yeah. I'm pretty sure Osho has got man of the match from us this season. Definitely from me, I would have thought.
Oh yeah, for sure. He might have got it for Liverpool from me. Maybe.
They are there, but we just haven't been taking notes. So.
Yeah, exactly that. But yeah, that is that upon the Bolton game. Obviously, it has been rescheduled and confirmed today that it is next Tuesday. And obviously, there was a question from Jamie saying, who did we get? So if we do progress, we got Crystal Palace or Everton. Me personally, I'm not really too fussed. I'd rather we, sacrifice it if I'm being honest, because it's a bit boring. Yes, we've beaten them this season, both of them. But I don't know, man. We've already playing them. If we, like I said to someone yesterday, if we was playing them, if we got them last season, that'd be good because it'd be a good test to show where we're at as well. Because obviously we're a top end Championship team there, a lower end of the Premier League, so it'd been good to see. But I'm not too convinced. But then again, I get some people. It's a good opportunity to progress because, like I say, we have beat them. If we do, obviously beat Bolton, but we'll get past them first as well. So yeah, that's that upon that when it comes to that. But Yeah, what did you make of the draw, Dad? We got
It's
Crystal
not the
Palace
worst.
over if we
Not the,
progress.
yeah, a lot of people moan about it. Come on, man. Like you said last season, we'd have been chuffed with that. So we have beat both them teams. It is a good test, but we'll see how what happens. We got to beat Bolton first, and if we play like we did the other day at their ground, we ain't beating them.
No.
Do you know what I mean? They'll have the whole bigger crowd behind them and all sorts. So we'll just see what happens. Priority obviously is to stay in the Premier League at the end of the day. So if we do get through, then we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyone could go through. We have beaten, like I said, Everton at their ground as well. So we'll see. It's not. Could have been worse. Obviously, it could have been better. We could have been at home against a lower team again. But again, after that performance, just sort of, you're not really interested. I think that's what it's done. So we prefer to see us, fighting in the Premier League. I guess. I think that's what most of it is. We'll see.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, that is that. Upon that, and then obviously the next bit is obviously a bit of a transfer news. It's obviously come out. Obviously, Chris did ask a question earlier. I was going to get into it. So obviously, Joe Taylor has gone to Lincoln on loan. Obviously, there was 4 teams that is rumoured to go to: Bolton, Wickham, Lincoln, and Oxford United. I nearly said City then. But yeah, no, they were the 4. And I thought he was going to go Bolton, to be honest. Obviously, he was apparently going to have a conversation with their manager after the game as well. Maybe it's come down to his choice what he wants to do. Well, obviously, he would have had a part of it. But yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. I mean, that was my choice. I probably went to Bolton because they're doing very well. It's a good chance to go up with them as well. Have that another feeling of potentially playoff, maybe even automatics. But then again, in League One, it's 3 teams that go up, isn't it? Automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he could have went up automatically. Oxford, I don't think would have been bad as well. They're actually doing all right, to be fair. Lincoln, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. They're mid-table in League One a lot over the years. But then again, he might look at it and think, do you know what? It's a good opportunity to, he obviously wouldn't say it, but because they're not as great as maybe Bolton and Oxford, he can maybe look at it like, if I start shining in these type of games, like he did for Colchester, because bear in mind they were, flickering between bottom and second bottom, and he still had the amount of goals he'd done. Maybe he's looking at it from that side of things as well, you know. But yeah, and then obviously Wickham, I couldn't see that one anyway because obviously they're rivals with us. Obviously, it's not as big as like Watford, but still, we do have a bit of a rivalry of them. So it's an interesting one, but yeah, he obviously, like I say, he went out on loan. Obviously, it was heavily rumoured, a lot this morning, and then it come out, round about midday. So, bit of an interesting one. But what did you make of him going there, Dad?
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it's still a step up from where he was at Colchester. Lincoln was like kind of mid-table. I think they've done all right generally this season, but they've just lost the last 4 games or something like that. So maybe they need a striker more. Maybe it was a question of he wants to start every game like he did at Colchester, and maybe he wasn't guaranteed that at Bolton. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's a step up. He's 21, so I hope if he can score goals there as well, then we know that we're on to a winner.
Yeah, it's true. Like I say, maybe he does look at it from the side of things that, like I say, well, like you say, the opportunity they're getting. Also, like they're not as good as Bolton. Let's just be honest now at this current moment in time. So maybe he's looking at it like if he can shine like he did for Colchester. Bear in mind where they were, the amount of goals he had, and maybe he's looking at he can do it for Lincoln as well. So it's going to be an interesting one. But obviously, wish him all the best. I hope he does well again. It'd be good to see, of course. But again, we always knew he was going to get loaned out as well because the main factor of me that we knew that he was is because he was obviously cup tied. So we couldn't even give him an opportunity in the cup. Because you're not going to throw him, for me anyway, you're not going to throw him in the Premier League on the bench, are you? So, yeah, and obviously, like you said as well, obviously Dion Pereira has returned. I reckon someone might go in and we'll probably get rid of him, if I'm being honest. I can't, maybe even loan with an option to buy, but I can't see him being in and around the team, even in, the Championship, he didn't really get that, did he, with us? And, to be fair, he had a good pre-season. It was last season, wasn't it? And, we thought he'd maybe get a chance, but he didn't. So I just can't see why he's going to be given a chance again, or another time to get an opportunity. I just can't see it. So for me, he's going to go out on loan again, or we'll get rid of him. I'd be a loan with an option to buy, or we'll just, get rid of him for me. But what do you reckon we'll do with Pierre?
I think that'd be the case, to be honest. Sutton poor as well. And from what I see, I don't know if it was a manager or whatever, but he weren't really getting in their team that much. I think he played a couple of cup games. He done a whiting, but he weren't really starting for them from what I could see. And I can't see us now being in the Premier League, etc. Or even if we get relegated. Do you know what I mean? I can't see us persisting with him. That made sense. I think he's probably a decent player there, but not at this level, I don't think. So I think it'll definitely be loaned out, and if it's not, then he'll just be in limbo basically. He won't be included in the squad or anything like that, in my opinion. So we'll see where it goes. Be interesting to see where it goes. That it was in depths of League Two, really. So could be interesting to see who's. But if they're given the option to take him on, maybe then it might, could be a League One team. We'll see.
Yeah. So, like I say, obviously that's everything spoken about. That we was going to talk about, and then obviously I say it's a bit of a. I said it, full time, bit of a unnecessary replay pending. For some people it could be. Like I say, both teams obviously Bolton are trying to go up. Obviously we are trying to stay up. So it's an interesting one. I've seen a lot of our fans say give Bolton a win, including myself. But then you've seen a lot of their fans saying, give Luton a win. We're trying to go up. So it's going to be interesting to see how we both approach that game. I'm on the same wavelength as you, Dad. I feel, we need to give the players that we thought we would give a chance, a go in that game, like your Woodrows.
Well, I think we will now because, they've got to come in. We're playing on Friday now. And then we're playing on, is it the Tuesday?
Tuesday. Yeah.
So, don't think there's much turnaround time. So for me, then you probably will start the players that probably, in my opinion, should have started really.
Yeah, exactly. Woodrow, Giles.
I think they'll go with the same they went with probably because they're going to give it a go anyway. Like I said, it's easier to get promoted from League One than it is to stay in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Say it's place, they've got the playoffs, etc. And they might even fancy themselves against Palace or Everton. That to give them a boost. But we'll see. But yeah.
Yeah, that's only a minority of Bolton fans to say that. A lot of them replied to them and said, "You're not a Bolton fan then." Because, like you said, Dad, it's a good opportunity for them to play a Premier League team, away from home as well. So we'll see. But yeah, that is that upon the Hat Show today. Dad, any final things you'd like to say about anything at all?
No, not today.
Not today. Today we can't have no motivation to the Burnley game. Do you know what I mean? But obviously we'll be back again on Thursday now because obviously that is on Friday, as we all know. It's still on TV, which is obviously good. So we'll be doing a watch along to that, and we're going to try and get a Burnley fan on. So we'll see what happens with that. But obviously, if not, it'll be us two. And the way you'll know if there is one, obviously I'll put a channel in the title if they do come on. But yeah, that is that really. So obviously, smash a like if you haven't already. We are currently on 12 likes. Literally went up as soon as I said that. So big up. I think someone knew what I was going to say there. As for new subscribers, we did gain one yesterday. So big up to yourselves and big up to everyone that's watched the vlog. Actually, it's massively jumped up. And as we speak at this current moment in time, it's one view away from 400. So if you could check that out, that'd be much appreciated. And big up to everyone that has, because I know it weren't the greatest of games. So yeah, but yeah, big up, like I say. And yeah, like I say, we'll be back again on Thursday to obviously preview the Burnley game. And then, like I say, I'll be back again with watch along. So yeah, obviously smash a like, do subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on. Subscribe to T Boys TV Extra as well. I did put a community post out. I've slightly changed the T Boys TV Extra picture. It's essentially the same, but I just put an extra to avoid and look a bit better. So yeah, obviously I put a poll out about that. So big up to everyone that's done that. And yeah, gained a new subscriber on there. So big up to yourselves as well. I did do my first watch along on that the other day. Newcastle, or so shall I say, Sunderland versus Newcastle. Newcastle's quality just shone through. But yeah, big up to everyone tuned into that. Obviously, do subscribe. There will be more neutral watch alongs on there in the future. And yeah, if you want to follow me across any of my socials, obviously links to them are also in the description. So yeah, big up yourselves. And until I was about to say Friday, Thursday, we'll see you lot in a bit. So take care and peace.